In this class, we'll move through several variations of Sun Salutation A. Sun salutations are a very effective way to stretch and strengthen the body in preparation for climbing. Find the variation that works best for your body today. Remember that breathing is mandatory, but poses are optional. The most important part of any practice is to breathe and have fun. Today we're going to focus on breaking down the alignment of poses often seen in the vinyasa sequence in order to build a solid foundation for our practice. We'll begin in child's pose, big toes touching, knees close together or out wide, fingertips out in front of you, and forehead down to the mat if it feels comfortable. And start by taking a big breath in through the nose, fill up, and big exhale out the mouth. One more cleansing breath, big inhale through the nose, feel the rib cage expand, and exhale, let it fall out the mouth. Begin to deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale, and begin to shift your focus towards your breath. In vinyasa, we practice ujjayi breathing, which is breathing in and out through the nose. From child's pose, begin to work your way up into a high plank pose, crown of the head reaching forward, heels reaching back, shoulders right over the wrists. And imagine the action of dragging your hands and your feet together to fire up your core. And then pressing back to your first downward facing dog, feel free to pedal your heels, find any movement that feels good. And spreading the fingers wide, grounding down through the knuckles of the fingers, especially through the index finger and the thumb. Draw the shoulder blades on the back, heart reaching back towards your thighs. And the heels can soften down towards the mat. If you need to bend the knees to feel comfortable, go ahead and do so. And breathing here for a few more deep breaths. And then walking the feet all the way up to the top of the mat, coming into ragdoll pose. Feet about hip width apart. Feel free to grab opposite elbows here. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Completely release the weight of the neck and just allow gravity to do some of the work here. And feel free to move side to side if that feels good. And from your ragdoll pose, gently bring your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back, coming into low lunge. Front knee right over the front ankle. Reach up, and then exhale. We're going to fold over straight legs. Twice more like that. Inhale, reach the heart forward. And then exhale, straighten over your legs. Last time here, big breath in. And exhale, fold. Imagine the action of dragging your left foot back towards your right foot and your right foot forward, and this action will help to square the hips off to the front of the mat. And then stepping the right foot forward, lift up halfway, flat back, exhale, fold forward. Twice more like that. Inhale, lift halfway, exhale to fold. Last time here, crown of the head reaching forward, sitting bones reaching back, fold forward. And then lift up. This time we're going to reach the left foot back, coming into low lunge on the opposite side. Inhale to lift the heart, exhale to straighten the legs and fold forward. Inhale, come forward, lift the heart, exhale, straighten the legs. Last time, inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. Hanging here for a couple of breaths. Create that action of dragging the right foot back to the left foot, vice versa, squaring the hips off to the front of the room. Feel free to use blocks underneath the hands here. Great modification. And then stepping back to high plank and coming back into our downward facing dog. And downward dog ever feels a little too much, feel free to come back to child's pose at any point in the practice. And then coming into our first sun salutation, reach the feet forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And we're gonna rise all the way up. Hands reach overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. And then exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, step back. High plank pose here, shoulders over the wrists. And we're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. See if everything can touch down at the same time. Coming up into our low cobra pose, shoulders back, tops of the feet pressing down into the mat, heart forward. And then exhale, bring the forehead back down to the mat, tuck the toes under, child's pose for a breath. And then making your way back into downward facing dog, hips up and back. Imagine reaching your hips back to the part of the wall where the ceiling and the wall actually meet. And then coming to our second sun salutation, building here, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, ground down through the feet, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to sweep high. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale brings you to your flat back, halfway lift. And then bending the knees slightly, planting the hands, stepping back. Coming into our high plank pose. Again, lowering all the way down to the belly, tops of the feet on the mat. Bring it up, low cobra. Draw the shoulder blades together, draw the elbows together. And then bring the forehead down to the mat, tuck the toes under. This time press straight up through plank pose and come back to your downward facing dog. Always the option to take the first variation of moving through child's pose and then back to down dog. Breathing here. Look forward. Step the feet forward to the top of the mat. Lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank pose, core is active and engaged. This time coming into chaturanga, lowering just to 90 degrees. Shoulders not dipping below the elbows, coming into your upward facing dog. Tops of the feet on the mat, shoulders right over the wrists, heart forward. And then exhale back to your downward facing dog. Breathing here, knowing that any three of these modifications and sun A's are available at any point in the practice. Hopping forward to the top of the mat, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to sweep the arms up high. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Plant the hands, step it back. High plank pose. Coming forward just a couple of inches, lowering down chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Warming up our body through these sun salutations. And taking one more breath in down dog. And take an inhale. Walk the feet forward, lift halfway. Forward fold. This time we're coming into chair pose. Big toes together, heels out just a couple of inches separated from each other. And then bending the knees deeply, sitting back as if you were in a chair. And create this action of tucking the tailbone under and drawing the belly button in. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hands, step back. Lower down chaturanga or all the way down to the mat. Inhale to your upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. And this time the right foot steps forward. Feet are hip width apart. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Seal down. the outer edge of the back foot. Draw the arms up, spread the fingers, and bring the hands down. Step it back. Move through your vinyasa, or feel free to skip it at any time. Come right to down dog. Take a rest in child's pose, whatever feels good. And take a breath here. And then step the left foot forward, warrior one on the opposite side. Think about drawing the right hip forward, left hip back. Fingers spread, heart lifts. And the front knee's right over the front ankle. Hands come down to the mat. Move through your vinyasa or come right back to downward facing dog. And moving through our sun salutation B one more time here. Hop the feet forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sinking into your chair pose. Tailbone tucks under, heart lifts, fingers spread wide. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hands, step it back, moving to your chaturanga. Then your upward facing dog, shoulders back, and downward facing dog. And taking a big exhale here, and then inhale to plant the right foot forward, rise up, warrior one, seal down the outer edge of the back foot. Hands coming down to the mat, picking up the front foot, moving through your vinyasa, or coming right back to downward facing dog. Moving into the left side one last time, left foot forward, back foot comes down, sealing down to the mat, fingers spread wide. And bringing hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank pose. And moving through your vinyasa back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose. And exhale, let it go. And then stepping forward, crossing the feet, rolling all the way back down onto the mat. Solid ground underneath you. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, arms by your side, close your eyes, breathe here. And take this opportunity to check in with yourself. Notice any differences that you feel now compared to the beginning of the class. And then setting up for half pigeon here, your right ankle will cross over your left thigh, and then either bringing the hands behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin, drawing them in towards the chest. And then breathing here, keeping the feet flexed to protect the knee joint. And then gently releasing, we'll cross over this time, left ankle over the right thigh, drawing the knees in towards the chest. If you want to interlace the fingers in front of the right shin, feel free to do so. And breathing really deeply here. The more we can relax into the pose, the more effective it will be. A few more big, deep breaths here on this side. And then drawing the right knee into the chest, left leg straight out in front of you, coming into a gentle spinal twist here. Right knee going over to the left, right arm reaching out to the side, and then the gaze can fall over the right shoulder. A few more deep breaths here on this side. One more big inhale. Really big exhale. And draw the knee back to center. Squeeze it in one last time. Extend it out in front of you. This time left knee in towards the chest. And we'll take the left knee over towards the right. Rolling over onto the right hip. Left arm reaches out to the side. Gaze can fall over towards the left. These twisting actions are so good for the health of your spine. Breathing deeply here. And then once again, drawing both knees into your chest this time. Give yourself a squeeze. And setting up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So really making this pose as comfortable as you can here. I like to let the outer edges of the feet roll down towards the mat, palms face up. I like to take a moment to tuck each shoulder blade under so that the heart is lifted. Closing the eyes here and allowing the practice to soak in. Nothing to think about, nothing to do, no agenda for these last couple of minutes. Just being and breathing. Shavasana, final pose. And then here, take a big breath in through the nose, fill up. And then sip in a little bit more air. Exhale, big sigh out the mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, gentle movements here. And then when you're ready, placing the feet on the mat, drawing your knees in towards your chest. We'll roll off to the right. You can bring your right arm alongside your ear. Use it as a pillow here. A few more moments of rest. And then with as little effort as possible, slowly make your way up to any comfortable seated position. And shoulders back, palms resting on the legs, allowing the practice to soak in. Notice how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of the practice. And then bringing your hands to heart center, sealing your practice, bringing your thumbs up to third eye center, lifting the corners of the mouth and bowing forward, honoring your practice. Namaste. This practice of sun salutations is great to use on its own or as a warm-up for another practice. Sun salutations are a fantastic warm-up for climbing as the poses in the sequence cover many major muscles of the body.